Hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Jill Ortiz here in my empowered fitness community for women over 40 looking to get energized, confident, and strong. It's Wednesday, and so that means that today we have our weekly Wednesday Q&A session where I'm going to answer all of your questions regarding fitness, nutrition, menopause, and all the things that you want to accomplish in your weight loss journey or your feeling better in your skin journey. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy first Wednesday here on the Q&A session. Let me know that you're here either live or watching the replay. And I always send these out via email. I put them on my YouTube channel as well. So you can always watch them anytime. You can go to YouTube to find all of the old ones. On Facebook, they delete live videos every 30 days now. So I used to library them in the guide section, but they disappeared. So anyway, so we are going to start going on answering some questions today. If you are live, hi Pam, hi Marianne. If you're live here and you want to ask a question during our broadcast here, you're welcome to. But what I do generally is I take the answers that you all provide in the questions when you join the group. And so the most recent ladies to join the group, I'm going to talk about your struggles, what you're going through, your goals, and what questions that you asked. And if you would like, I've dropped the link here to schedule a private session with me. If you'd like to have that opportunity to talk to me about your goals, about your struggles, we're going to figure out what's holding you back, and we're going to figure out a plan to get you moving forward. Whether it's with me or not, I don't care. I just want you moving forward. I mean, I care. I'd love to have you work with me, but we'll find the right thing for you. We have all different ranges in terms of budget, and really I want to meet you where you're at and give you the things that are going to help you the best. And so you have that opportunity to schedule a call with me. I have the link there. I want to let you know that you can schedule a call with me this week. Today is Wednesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. We're going to an Inter Miami game on Saturday night. So Saturday, most of the day, and a little bit maybe on Sunday morning. Otherwise, I'm going to Italy on Monday for 2 weeks with my husband and my son for soccer. And so we're going to go explore Italy and have some fun. I plan to be teaching all the parents boot camps while the boys are doing their soccer practices. And so I'm excited. And hi, Janice. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Heather. And so you can book a call with me. Otherwise, you're going to wait until you get back. If you do want to start something while I'm gone, I've also dropped the link for my 5-day Menopause Makeover, which is an amazing way to start your journey with me. You can do it on your own. You don't need me for it. And you can go through, there's 5 15-minute lessons. We've got fitness, nutrition, sleep, stress, and HRT supplementation. And then there's 5 workouts: arms, stretch, abs, stretch, and glutes. And so you can do it all on your own, 30 minutes a day. It'll get you in the rhythm. If you want, you can add on my 5-day kickstart cleanse, which is awesome for quick weight loss, feeling so much better in your skin, and just getting that started too. It's really in good alignment with the Menopause Makeover. So if you want to start there, you can do that. You can start that anytime. It's 5 days, but I give you a week to complete it. But you got to get going right away. Otherwise, you're going to lose access, okay? So let's get into some of these questions here. And again, if you're on live and you want to ask a question, you're welcome to. So Melanie, who recently joined the group, maybe yesterday, she says, procrastination and motivation are holding her back, and she really wants to improve her overall fitness and flexibility. And she's asking, can I repair my body as well as improving it? Of course you can repair anything. You can improve your body, you can improve your fitness, you can improve your nutrition, you can improve your health. All you have to do is work on it. You have to work on it. You have to work on it consistently. Sometimes it takes months to see the results of the input. And so you have to know that it's doing the work that counts. It's not like we're looking for the results to then motivate us to do the work. We have to decide what we want. We have to get a really great plan that works for us. Hi, Nikki. And then we have to stick to it and we have to maybe change it. We have to understand it. We have to make sure it's the right plan. And that is how you are going to get results, and you're going to be able to achieve anything you want to. So if somebody said to me, I want a six-pack, they said, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's possible for me. I say, of course it's possible for you. I've had a six-pack. I have a six-pack. You have to do the work. If you want a six-pack, you have to do a lot of abs. You have to really, really work them more than the average human being, which the average human being is not working their abs at all. So you have to work them, and then you have to work them double if you want a really great result. If you have a droopy butt that goes down the back of your leg, has no shape at all, can you get a butt, a lifted tight butt at any time in your life? I'm gonna knock my water over. Of course you can. What do you have to do? You have to work your glutes so hard. It takes a lot of work to get what you want. No, not only do you have to do the physical work, you have to fuel your body for that change. So for all of you who want to feel better and look better and be healthier, you have to put in the work. It's on you, right? I'm here to give you the amazing plans and a ton of cheerleading and a great community of women who are going through the same things. That is how you are going to get the results. Guess what procrastinating does? It gets you nowhere. It'll get you nowhere so fast. It'll not give you motivation either. So you can't keep procrastinating. You have to start today. If you couldn't start yesterday, the next best day is today, right? So you have to decide if you want to change how you feel, how you look, anything, then you have to make a change today. Take action today. One of those things is just watching this, right? And then it's maybe booking a call or signing up for the Menopause Makeover. Because if you take one little step, it's going to lead you to the next step and the next step. And we just keep going. And so I just responded to an email. It was a message on my website from Rebecca, who is currently doing my original Fit and Fast fitness program on my website. And every day I get a notification when she does the workout. And so I could see she was getting towards the end of the 4-week Fit and Fast program. And so I sent her a message on the app, which also goes through as an email, the other day, maybe 2 days ago. And I'm waiting for her to respond to me. This morning I was about to text her, but then I had an appointment. And so I was like, I'll text her afterwards. And guess what? She had emailed me by the time I got out of my appointment. And she said, this is going so great. I love how it feels. I'm on target. I'm seeing results. And I definitely want to know what the next steps are. She's going to finish the program. She's going to continue on through the end of June. I think she's going to repeat it. And then she said, before the end of June, when you get back from Italy, I want to have a conversation about the next steps. And so in the meantime, I'm telling her, I can totally see you doing this next or this next, and this for nutrition and this for fitness. And so I'm already giving her ideas and getting her excited that there's other things, that there's, next steps in line for her. And so that's how we do it, is we sign up for a call, we, click on an ad, we have a little conversation with me in Messenger, we sign up for a call, we sign up for a little tool, and then we just keep getting bigger and bigger with the tools, or just adding more tools to our toolbox, and it comes together, right? And then if we kind of like, some people, they'll stop, right? Or they'll fall off the wagon, or something will get in their way. And that's when they'll realize how awful it feels to not be on, right? To not be doing the things. And then they're like, oh wait, I want to go right back to that thing that made me feel really good. That's where you find the motivation. A lot of you who I put in my little spreadsheet today said motivation. Robin also said motivation is holding her back. She says, why is it so hard? Because we're women, Robin. It's really sad, but we have all these physiological things that happen in our body that make weight loss really hard, that make sticking to things really hard, that make mood management really hard. But we have tools, and all we can do is learn about the tools, implement the tools, and come together as a community to keep each other accountable, to rise up together, to raise each other up, to motivate one another, and to keep bringing information, right? And so So this is why it's important to be plugged in, right, to a community. And I align myself with people and friends who are in similar places as me. So one of my best friends yesterday sent me a podcast, which I'm going to share with all of you. I'll see if I can actually pop it in the comments here now. Yeah, so she sent me this awesome podcast, which I am going to give to you all. I think this is it here. Best podcast I've ever listened to on hormone replacement therapy, on women's health, on this totally ignored area, which is now starting to gain a little traction, amongst the mainstream popular media. And it's women's health and HRT, and what happens to us as our body is changing is we just have no idea. We don't know. And so even being, friends with my best friends who are always sharing information with me and I share information with them, I shared a product with my friend and it's helped her lose 20 pounds. And then she just shared a podcast with me that is really answering a lot of questions that I've had in the last month about changes in my body. I'm not immune to this as the trainer. And so I'm excited with this new information, right? And I'm passing it to you because you're here and you're connected with me. And so I want you to definitely watch that. It's a really long podcast. It's about 2 hours long, but I watched it driving my kids back and forth. I swear they didn't even hear this lady saying vagina all over the place. She's talking about bleeding out and like all this stuff. And I swear my kids were totally in another world because I had it on the speaker and they didn't even, flinch. But get it in because it's really, really good. Okay, so it's hard because our body is not in alignment anymore. Hormones are changing. We don't know how to adjust. So this is why you're here. It's super important that I educate you on what's going on and that we work on the things that we can control. Some things we can't control and some things we have to play around with, like hormones, to figure out where do I need to be. And even that can take a few months per this doctor in the podcast. But there are things that we can do in our lifestyles that are going to either harm or help us. And so I see that every day in choices that I make. I was on a cruise last week. I drank some alcohol. It didn't really feel very good. I'm back and I'm totally avoiding alcohol this week. We're going to Italy. I'm sure there's going to be some great wine there. I'll probably drink some. It's probably going to kill my sleep. It's choices that we make, but we can do a lot to help ourselves. And that's my job, is to educate you as to how to do it and then to hold you accountable and help you get in the groove. Okay. All right. Candy says nutrition and a workout routine are killing her. She doesn't have one. She says, how do I manage inflammation and weight that's hard to lose? So if we don't have a good nutrition framework is my favorite word when it comes to nutrition, right? That means rules, guidelines, knowing if you're doing it right or doing it wrong, right? Nutrition framework and a workout routine, imperative. You gotta have it. At this point in life, you have to understand what's the right ones, and then you gotta stick to them in order to get to where you wanna be. That's how we can also manage inflammation. I can teach you how to eat an anti-inflammatory diet to help with your joints, to help with bloating, to help you feel energetic all over, right? We don't want to be in a constant state of inflammation. It's not going to feel good. And then guess what? When we start to manage your fitness and your nutrition and getting all these things in alignment, the weight loss, it should come. It should come. I found this week that sometimes it just doesn't come. And so here's the thing. So, okay, I was just telling my friends this story. Me and my two best friends were on an app called Marco Polo together. And so every single day, this is the three of us, since we were joint at the hip in college, we share, stories, we share what's going on in our lives every single day, video messages. And so I was just telling my best friends, and I'll tell you too, because I'm totally transparent. I go on a cruise, I gain 1 pound. I come back and I hop on clean eating, cleanse eating. On day 1, I gain 1 pound. On day 2, I gain another pound. What is going on? I've always lost 5 to 7 pounds on this 5-day cleanse, and now I'm gaining a pound a day. What gives? I have no clue, right? All I can say is I'm gonna schedule myself for a hormone panel and go in and start figuring out, what do I need here? What's happening? Because it's not what I'm doing. It's somehow something that's going on in my body chemistry. And so do I throw up my hands and say, oh, forget about it, I'm not gonna eat clean, I'm just gonna eat like I did on the cruise and eat a ice cream and a piece of pizza and drink Long Island iced teas? No, I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing for as long as it takes until I feel confident and comfortable that I'm going the right direction. I also might just throw the scale out the window and go based on how I feel. I've been feeling good. I would like to see a little shrinkage in the bloat that I've been feeling, but it may not take just 2 days, right? It may take quite a while of doing the right thing. So I can't throw in the towel. I gotta just keep forging ahead and keep trying new things. Go to Italy and eat a lot of pasta, and maybe I'll lose some weight. Okay. So hi Stephanie, good to see you. Karen says motivation and lack of knowledge is holding her back. So again, this motivation piece. You can watch my Motivation Monday videos. They're all on YouTube. If you want to drop the word motivation, I will send you a special training I did on motivation. Just drop it in the comments or email me or message me. Motivation, I'm going to say this like simplest thing. If you sit on the couch, do you feel motivated to work out? No. If it's workout time, right? And you are still laying in bed, is that motivating? No. It's get up, go get to the space, right, where you work out in your workout clothes. You don't have to work out, but get up and go there and stand there and then decide, are you going to just stand there and feel that motivated, or are you going to start working out? And I guarantee you, when you start doing the work, you're going to feel the motivation. Right? So taking action is more motivating than not taking action. If you get to your workout space and you don't even know what you're supposed to do when you get there, you don't have a clue, you don't have a plan, is that motivating? Nope. Is it motivating if you get there? Like, let me grab this, hold on. This is not mine, this is my son JJ's. This kid has had soccer camp. He came home yesterday and he took a nap after soccer camp. I've never seen that kid nap. He did not nap as a baby. We had to drive him around in the car till he fell asleep, and then we'd have to sit in the driveway because that kid was not a napper. He came home and he went to sleep. Every morning he's gotten up at 6 a.m. to do Fit and Fast 2.0. It says JJ at the top. He's 14 and he comes down. He gets out of bed whether he's tired or not. He gets out of bed, he comes down, and he does the next day, right? I don't have to be here because all he knows, he just turns on YouTube and finds Fit and Fast 2.0 playlist that I have in there for him, and he just does the next day. So what's more motivating? Coming into your gym or your space, your living room where you do your workouts. I better put this back where it was, or else it'll be like, I don't know what to do. Is it more motivating to have a plan or to not have a plan? To have a plan, right? So we have to take action. We have to have a plan. Is it motivating to do it on your own or with a group of people who are also doing it and maybe earn some prizes and have somebody, telling you're amazing? Much more motivating to have a community. So that's what we need, is we need a plan, we need action, and we need community. That's a big part of it, right? I'll send you, Heather, Marianne, anybody else who wants, I'll send you the training I did on motivation. Totally different spin than what I just said. Totally different. Carissa says, with me, you have to be with me. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Karen, her question, do you really have to count calories, fats, etc., and measure amounts? My clients will tell you, no, you don't have to. That is one type of nutrition framework. My favorite word, right? So that's one type of nutrition framework, is counting calories, grams of fats, carbs, and proteins. It's called macros counting, right? We don't have to do that framework, but we do need a framework. So I teach 3 other main frameworks for nutrition. One being portion control. You're not counting calories, you're counting portions, but like this is a portion, right? That's what we eat our starches in. We have mindful eating, which is not counting calories. It is eating certain foods at certain times a day. You don't have to count. You can kind of figure out how much you're eating, but you don't have to. And then we have our menopausal metabolism framework, which again, is just eating certain foods at certain times a day, but you don't have to be counting. So not everybody is going to enjoy a framework where you count. Some people who have type A personalities, they really love it. Some people like me who have ADHD can count calories for like 3 to 5 days and then I'm over it. I'm like, forget this. I don't want to do this anymore. So for some people, it'll be something that maybe when you get close to your goal weight, maybe it's a way that you refine. And maybe you never do that kind of framework, but maybe it's super, super powerful and it gives you a new outlook, new knowledge, a new tool in your toolbox for how you can do nutrition. And it may not be like your forever always plan, but maybe it's something you turn to when you want to get a particular result a little bit faster, right? And so, so long story short, you don't have to count all those things. Some people will do it, some people won't. It all depends on the person, and some people do it sometimes, right? So we do have other frameworks for nutrition. And what I like to do is teach you a bunch of them so that you have multiple tools so that you're not either on the wagon, off the wagon, but you're either using this tool or that tool. And maybe at some point you kind of like me, like I kind of use a combo of all the tools here and there. But I maintain healthy, good frameworks. So in my 5-day Kickstart Cleanse is my 5th framework. And so in that framework, I know that my mid-morning snack, if I need it, is 1/3 of a cup of nuts, right? And so I knew too that if I didn't eat something before I did this broadcast, that I'd be like, my stomach would be rumbling. So I know in my head, like when I go to the kitchen with my little container, like that's what I'm going for. I know exactly what I need to eat because I know the framework. The framework is nuts are the mid-morning snack, right? If you need them. And so that's why you need framework, is you need to know when I go to eat, if I'm hungry, what am I supposed to eat? And what do I have prepared? What have I planned for? Okay. Marcia says that working long, mentally exhausting days is holding her back. I know some people have jobs that I was talking to somebody, I don't know if it was Marcia yesterday, who was saying their day is like 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. or something like that. That is definitely tough. I wouldn't want to exercise when I get home from that either. We have to figure it out, right? And hopefully that schedule doesn't last forever. But yeah, we have to kind of figure out what are we going to do about that, because if we just never pay attention to our body's needs, then health-wise, that's not good. We need some balance. But also, if you have goals, then you have to somehow figure out, how am I going to achieve them? And how do I make this work with my lifestyle? Her question is, why will you never have the same success on a plan that you prioritized and did well on if you fall off the wagon, so to speak? So she's saying if you were doing a plan, you were having great success, you fell off the wagon, why will you never have the same success on that plan again? I don't know that that's true. I will tell you that if you did a plan that you did in your 30s, early 30s, and it worked great, like you were doing HIIT workouts and starving yourself and you're getting really skinny, that's not going to work in your 40s and your 50s and beyond, right? So it could be that maybe you were doing it at a different stage in life. And maybe you just, it was a plan that you didn't enjoy, right? Maybe you had success, but you didn't enjoy it. So let's say you did keto, right? And you lost a lot of weight because you're cutting out all your carbs and all your sugars. And then you fell off the wagon because keto not fun. Keto no carbs, keto no sugar, and very restrictive. And if you have no carbs and no sugars, what are you eating? You're eating a ton of protein and fat all day long. Not fun. So then when you are like, okay, I gained all this weight back and more because now my body has no idea what it's doing. And then you're like, oh, let me try keto again because that worked in the past. Well, number one, your body is super confused. And it's like, wait, you did this, but then you weren't doing it, but now you're trying to do it again. And then you also recall how awful that was and how you didn't enjoy it. And so you're not going to comply, right? You're going to kind of cut the corners and whatnot. It's kind of like when you have your first kid and you didn't realize what it was going to be like. And then all of a sudden you start panicking. Like I started panicking when I was about to give birth to my second because I didn't do any kind of drugs, no epidural or anything in my first. And I was like, okay. And then I'm like almost like ready to give birth to my second one. I started to panic. I was like, wait a second. I just remembered how awful that was. I don't think I want to feel that again. And she's like, you're 10 centimeters, just push. I'm like, oh, okay. Just remembering, just finally being like, oh wait, yeah, I remember when I did this before. It wasn't really exciting and fun. So that's why it's important that when we pick a framework or a plan, that it's something that's sustainable, that we enjoy. There has to be joy in the journey. Otherwise, you're not going to stay on it. So the answer is it has to be a joyful, sustainable plan. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to work if you come off and on. And then it also it might not be something that did work in your 30s may not work in your 40s and 50s because the game's changing, our bodies are changing, so we have to change the approach. Okay? That's the story. So let's figure out what we can do for you, Marcia. Vanessa says nutrition is holding her back. She wants to lose the last 20 pounds and keep it off for good. She says she has lots of questions. So maybe we should do a call, Vanessa. Kelly says motivation is holding her back. So I went over that. And she's asking why can't she lose weight? And again, it could be hormones. We may need to manage those. It could be lifestyle choices, nutrition, fitness. It could be stress levels, right? Cortisol levels. If we have high stress, if we're constantly going for caffeine, if we're having too much sugar, if we're going too long between meals, these are all things that can cause cortisol levels to be high and then belly fat to store. So these are all things that we want to look at, get educated on. So Kelly, I would say first step, do the Menopause Makeover, and then let's talk and let's figure out what steps we need to take, okay? Becca says motivation and lack of belief are holding her back. So I did this recently where I talked about this little circle, right? So belief is super important. If we don't have belief in ourselves, in the process, then it's really hard to get results because belief drives action, right? And then when we take action, we get results. And when we get results, we get more excitement and belief. And then we take more action and then we get more results and then we get more excitement and belief and motivation, right? So when we have that belief, we feel motivation to act. And then when we act, we get more results. And so it's a cycle. So we have got to get that cycle in motion, right? Which is why I love when people start with the 5-day Kickstart Cleanse. I love when people start with the Menopause Makeover. And I love when people start with a call with me because it gets everything going in motion, okay? And then Becca wants to know, how do I get rid of menopause belly fat? We just went over that, right? So we have to manage, get everything in alignment, right? We want to boost our metabolism, which we'll do through fitness and nutrition. We want to reduce stress and cortisol levels. That also means we have to be sleeping, hydrating, and we want to take a look at our hormone levels and see if something's really out of whack that we need to approach, adjust, anything like that, okay? So we've got some really great steps to start with. Call with me, Menopause Makeover, Kickstart Cleanse. Let's get this party in motion, okay? Pam says motivation is holding her back because she gets depressed and doesn't want to go to the gym. So again, let's go back to, if you're depressed and you don't want to go to the gym, so you don't go to the gym, do you suddenly get more motivation? No. Get your butt to the gym, right? Just go. Even if you sit there and stare at people. Put on some music when you get there and stare at people. And then are you going to feel more inclined to do something like those people? Yes. As opposed to sitting there and watching them like a crazy person, right? So you have to take action. You have to meet the people where they're at. So book a call with me, show up for the call, and then we'll get your plan going and you'll feel that motivation start to go up. Anybody who works with me will tell you that when we get off a call together, motivation way up, right? Okay, Lori, motivation. Done talking about motivation for today. Kim says exercise is holding her back. My guess is you don't have a great plan. She also says, why am I fat? Probably because you're not exercising, right? So we need to, again, get in alignment. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Krista. We need to be eating right, exercising, managing stress, living a healthy lifestyle, focusing on us, right? We deserve it. If we do these things, then we will see results and possibly a chat with your doctor about your hormones if we're at that place where we're going through hormonal changes, okay? I personally, I don't have my appointment with my OB until probably like late summer, I think is usually when I have it. So what I'm going to do is I went on earlier today after listening to that great podcast that I dropped in here. I went on to Quest Diagnostics. You can literally go on and order a panel, women's hormone panel. I think they do 10% off your first order. And then they probably have specials too here and there. I think this month is Men's Health Month, so they get 20% off of their stuff. But you can order a panel, go in, get blood taken. I think you can also do these things at home and learn about your hormone levels. Take that to your doctor, as opposed to getting to your doctor and being like, I don't know what's going on. Get there and know what's going on. Be educated. Listen to this podcast. Go get a blood panel. Get your hormones done, checked, and then go with the information, right? Isn't that a much better plan than going in blind, being like, oh, my this hurts, my that hurts. I'm always moody. I'm gaining weight for no reason. It's probably not for no reason, okay? Let's see. Melinda says stress is holding her back. We have to learn to manage that. Do the Menopause Makeover, Melinda, because day one is stress management. And I give you 25 stress reducing activities. And I ask you to do one every single day. Like not just for 5 days, every single day of your life, you need to be working on stress reducing activities. I don't know if some of you saw, I had posted on my stories the other day. I had like 15 minutes before a call with one of my clients, and I just like said to my family, I was like, I'm going to go get my coloring book and I'm going to color. And they were like, okay, we're going to keep playing on our phones. And so I brought my markers and my coloring book out to the kitchen and I put on some music and I just colored for like 15 minutes. And that was my stress reducing activity, as opposed to working like until the minute of my call, right? And so we have to take time for these things. Walking, doing things that, taking baths, doing yoga, stretching. There's a lot of things on that list, but we do have to work on this stress release because it will help you with feeling better, mood swings, energy, weight loss, all the things, okay? And Melinda just wants to feel better in her skin. So there we go. Let's start working on stress management. Lauren's dealing with her menopause belly. She wants to know how to get rid of it. Managing cortisol, getting your hormones tested, see where your estrogen's at. So estrogen generally helps us to not store belly fat. When we lose estrogen, we start to store belly fat. And so sometimes maybe getting a little bit of estrogen back in your system can help you not store all that belly fat, right? So that could be a help for you possibly. And last one is Cindy. She says she wants to drop 30 pounds. She says, will the sweats, mood swings, lack of sleep get better with this diet plan? So as I said, I have 5 different frameworks for nutrition. They will all help you with your symptoms. The best one is going to be that 5-day kickstart cleanse. And I actually posted a link for it yesterday. I have 4 different menus. They're at jillortizfitness.com/shop if you want to look at all 4 of them. But I posted Kickstart Cleanse B yesterday because I had my lunch and then I was like, oh my God, this lunch is so good. So you'll see the picture of it in the feed. It's a quinoa tabbouleh, and it's so good. It was so filling. I was so excited. I'm gonna go have some when I'm done here. And so that one especially will help you with these symptoms. If you saw Erica did it last week, she lost 5 pounds. She said she was sleeping better. She felt so much better. And the thing is a 5-day cleanse. It's lots of food. It's whole foods. It's natural foods. We're getting rid of some of the things that are inflammatory, that bother us, that are harder to digest. Things that are bad for us, things that are not serving for us, like alcohol and caffeine and dairy and all these things. And so it's a very easy on the digestive system meal plan. And when your digestive system relaxes, your nervous system relaxes. And when your nervous system relaxes, the night sweats, the mood swings, the sleep problems, it all gets better. It's amazing. And so it's a great way to start. And when you're improving your mood and you're improving your body's like regulation, hormone regulation, and when you're improving your sleep, weight loss happens. And that's a big reason. And then also when we take out a lot of the things that tend to upset our gut and whatnot. So yes, those things will all be helped. If you then go into my Menopausal Metabolism Reboot framework for nutrition, my 4S framework, that's going to help you even more. If you're doing portion control and you're getting the right amounts of the right foods and choosing the right foods, that's going to help you. If you have enough protein in your diet and you're doing macros, that's going to help you. If you're eating mindfully, which means you're listening to your hunger, your energy, and your cravings, that's going to help you too with all these things. So every one of these frameworks is going to help you. So if you're feeling all of these symptoms and you don't have a nutrition framework, that could be an amazing step for you because it can really, really help you. Adding in workouts, walking, strength training, maybe some yoga, those things are going to help you too. And then again, possibly getting a hormone panel done to figure out if there's something that is just really off that you need to incorporate to help you with all these symptoms, okay? So thank you for joining me. I will most likely not be doing this. Ooh, I just went over something in Italy. But I will let you know. I'll keep in touch and I will update you guys. So if you need me, give me a shout again before next Monday because we'll be gone for 2 weeks. All right? Have a great day. Bye.